Today we will learn to calculate basic statistics in Python, and display the data, such as standard deviation, on charts. First we will need to import a few libraries for random numbers generation, statistical calculations, and plotting data on charts. Then we will declare some variables to store the base data. We will generate a list of random numbers through a loop. Loop will repeat 20 times. Generate a random number with minimum 0 and maximum 100. Now, append the x variable with this random number. Append the y variable with the x variable, plus a random number between -20 and +20. Print the variable x on the console window. Print the y variable on the console window. Plot the variable x and variable y on a chart, and then display the chart. Let's run the code and see the results. As you can see that the variable x and variable y have been generated with random numbers, and both have been plotted on a chart. Calculate the mean using statistics.mean function, and print the mean on console window. Mean refers to the average of individual values in x variable. Calculate the median using statistics.median function, and print the value of median on console window. Median represents the middle value, when the data is in ascending order. Calculate the mode using statistics.mode function, and print the value of mode on console window. The mode is the most frequently occurring value in a set of numerical data. Calculate the standard deviation using the statistics.standard deviation function, and print the value of standard deviation on the console window. Standard deviation shows the amount of variation or dispersion of a set of numerical data from its mean. Calculate the variance using statistics.variance function, and print the value of variance on the console window. Variance represents the average of the squared differences of each value from the mean. Calculate the covariance between the two variables using the statistics.covariance function, and display the value of covariance in the console window. Covariance is a statistical measure that represents the relationship between two variables and how they change together. Calculate the correlation between the variable x and variable y, and print the value of correlation on the console window. Correlation represents the strength and direction of a linear relationship between two variables. Finally, we will calculate the linear regression. By calculating linear regression, we will have the value of slope and the value of intercept. With these two values, we can forecast the value of x variable or y variable. Print the values of slope and intercept on the console window. At the end, we will define a variable to explain the standard deviation. Loop through the x variable, and compute the difference of mean and individual values in X variable, and then display those values on a bar chart. Let's run the code, and see the results. It seems that all values have been calculated successfully. This is the visual presentation of standard deviation. Mean is the standard, and the variation in each bar is the deviation from mean. Variance is the square of each bar, in other words, always positive. This is the base data, which was randomly generated at the start of the code. Please feel free to ask any question, or leave feedback in the comment section.